Welcome everyone to another Social Web Cafe interview. Today we have Kristie Abruzzo from thebackplace.com joining us. Kristie, please introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about yourself.
I am the owner of thebackplace.com and a retail store. So I brick and mortar too. I have 3 wonderful children. Two are married, and I have 1 grandchild. I have 2 horses and a wonderful husband. And I've spent the last 7 years focusing on products for the spine and helping people learn about their own posture.
Excellent. Oh, now all of a sudden I'm self-conscious. I'm like, am I watching what I'm doing with my spine? And what caused you to...
That's right. You're going to sit up straight from now on.
Yes, exactly. So what got you interested in the spine and helping people?
Well, I've been an entrepreneur since '93. I've had various businesses, but I had an opportunity to purchase this store back in 2005. And the woman who had run it for 5 or 6 years was tired of retail and wanted to make a change. So we got together and we spent 3 months, and she helped me learn about products. And products are the least, in the medical community, products get the least amount of attention and exposure, but they can really help patients in addition to the other things physicians and other medical professionals are using. They're using drugs, they're using physical therapy, they're using approaches, but products are the least attention. So we decided to really do the best job we could to find and bring in the best products we could find and then promote them. And it's really been fun.
So it sounds like it was the entrepreneurial spirit that led you that direction, but then you're caring and wanting to help people, especially people in pain, with something other than taking drugs to just kind of mask the pain.
Exactly. And we have the time. You know, people who come into the store, we have a lot more time than the medical community does to spend with them to say, what's going on, what do you need help with, and what products do we have that might do the trick.
Excellent. So it sounds like you're continuing like research even on what products are out there, and is this kind of an ongoing improvement process as well?
Yeah, well, there's always something new. I just was contacted by U of M. They've got a new product out that helps, uses technology to help people realize when their posture is not correct. And they wear it, and it gives them a reminder when they need to correct their posture. So they were talking to me and saying, you know, what do you see in the marketplace? Can we sell this through retail stores? And part of the problem is price point. It's pricey, but you know, I'm always looking at research facilities, universities, to see what the new stuff is that's coming.
And it sounds like they're contacting you too, because you're a great source. Being in the retail business and actually talking to the consumers that need this, you're a great point of research.
Yeah, and there's not that many of us. I mean, there are certainly buying retail stores around the country, but not as many as you would think. You know, in Michigan, there's probably 5. You know, so we're the type of community that the medical community can go to and say, what trends do you see? What things are your customers asking for that you don't have, and that kind of thing.
Excellent. That's kind of a give and all working towards the better health of people.
Well, think about what Deborah, I know you spend a lot of time in front of the computer. So you need to think about the way you're holding your body while you're doing your work. And it's not easy to do. It's an awareness thing. It's easy to get caught up in the work that you're doing, using technology, but depending on the setting you have, you may not have your posture, you might not have everything set up so that your posture is really good and healthy. And that's what we keep talking to people about, is be aware of your posture. Whatever you do for a living, be aware of your posture.
That's a good point. I noticed something when I went from being in a more public office environment to a private office. You know, when you're out where people can see you, it's like my posture is better. And I felt overall healthier because I was constantly aware of that. And then when you kind of slack off a little bit in your office, nobody can see that you're slouching a little bit, then you're going to have some pain.
That is correct. The other thing that happens is in a setting where you're with a company, they employ people to make sure that your workstation is correct. Not all of them, but they should. When you go home, you don't have that expertise at home. You don't have someone looking at you saying, Deborah, you really need to fix the chair that you're sitting in, or raise your monitor up because you're looking down too much, or change the keyboard. You don't have that feedback.
That makes sense. The ergonomically correct workstation.
Yes.
Now, with the holiday season coming up and looking for the gift for the person that has everything and something that's affordable, you had mentioned the bongers. I'd love to hear more about those.
Yes. In addition to products that support the spine and then the back and the neck, we also carry products that help relieve tension. So in our store you'll find pillows, back supports, chairs, kind of the whole gamut of products that would be helpful to keep your spine either aligned or supported, or your neck, etc. But you also have muscle tension. So we try to keep products on hand that help relieve muscle tension. And that will interfere with the proper alignment of the back and neck. So these are bongers. And they do a really nice job because you can control how much you use the bonger to affect the muscle or how little you use the bonger to affect the muscle. And a lot of people try to help another person by rubbing an area that's sore, but these actually do a much better job. And they're very affordable, and they're lots of fun.
That sounds like a fun activity, so maybe with your partner and candlelight and some chocolate and some wine and the bongers.
Exactly. They have many, many uses that we will talk about when we chat next week. Not the least of which is, we all want to make our partner feel good, and so we might try to rub their shoulders or rub their feet or their neck, or and these are just a wonderful addition to our hands that we aren't real sure about how to what to do with them. We all don't know how to use our hands and our thumbs properly, and so these are just a wonderful addition.
So is it kind of foolproof where, unless you're like hitting somebody with them, that you shouldn't be doing damage if you're using the bongers? Have they created them in such a way that anybody could probably use them?
Yeah, you can't screw it up. Don't bong the kidneys, right? Don't bong the kidneys.
Okay.
But you really can't screw it up, because if you're tapping on an area on your partner and they say, ooh, that hurts, you just tap a little lighter. Or if you're tapping quite lightly and they say, well, I can use a little more. So their feedback is going to tell you the amount of force. And force is really the only thing you can do better, or a little more of or a little less of. But no, they are not going to hurt an area. They will bring circulation to the area. They will relax the muscle in that area. But the person can say, that's too much, that doesn't feel good, and then you can lighten up.
Okay. Now, if somebody asks you what's the difference between that and a hand massage, other than not knowing the technique, it would seem to me that if you're trying to massage your partner, for example, and it's too rough, you've already kind of dug into that muscle before they can give you the feedback to say, wait, that's too much.
Yeah.
So in other words,
these are just with your hand, your thumb, your fingers. You're going to start to rub an area, and it's going to be very specific. The area you're going to touch is going to be very specific. These are much more broad. Okay. When you tap an area, you never get that specific onto a part of a muscle or soft tissue area. And so it broadens and spreads out that area that you're affecting, and a lot less opportunity to cause injury.
Well, that makes sense. Now, it seems like if you massage someone, by the time you get the feedback that that's too much, you possibly have already done the damage, whereas with the bongers, it's because you're controlling that light touch, and it's a broader area.
Right.
You're more likely to get the feedback in time.
And if the person, if you know this is an area that's caused the person issue, just start out very light. Start out just a really light tapping. and then let them tell you how that feels and if how you're going from there. But you're going to bring circulation to that area, you're going to bring some relaxation to that area, and the muscle's going to respond. And the muscle's going to respond in a relaxing way rather than a tightening way. The other thing that we do when we know someone's going to touch an area that's sensitive is we tend to tense up. We're worried that what they do might hurt or might be a problem. With the bongers, they're much less likely to be tense and to worry about it if they know they're just going to tap real lightly and see how that feels.
So it really does sound like it focuses a lot more on the relaxation aspect, which I'm not a medical expert, but it seems like if a muscle hurts, it's good to relax the muscle.
A muscle usually, there are rare exceptions, but a muscle usually hurts when it's tightened up or become like a knot. That's usually when we understand that that communication is that there's pain.
Excellent. Well, I'm always curious because you during the holiday season you think, well, let's see, Grandma doesn't need another scarf. My mother-in-law already has a food processor. What do I buy? And this seems like kind of win-win. It's an affordable gift idea, and not everybody has bongers.
No, probably very few people in your circle of family and friends have a pair of bongers. Yeah, it's that unique, fun. I mean, you kind of think about the family sitting around opening gifts. If somebody gets a pair of bongers, I guarantee you, somebody's going to pick it up and try it on Uncle Joe and say, how does this feel? And you'll get some discussion around, what people are feeling. You'll get some, ooh, that would be really fun. Can you do that on my feet? It's really a fun thing.
So an added benefit during the holidays is it's kind of a party game.
Yeah, it's something somebody can do. Here, it's my turn. If people are getting bored, there's something to do. The other thing they're great for, if you have and many of us have friends, relatives, family who do a lot of travel, whether it's driving or plane, these are great gifts for traveling. Because in the car, if you're starting to fall asleep, you got a bonger, just start, working on the leg, working in an area. If you've been on the plane for a long time and you've got jet lag, they're great to wake up your legs and your muscles for whatever you have to get through for the next couple of hours. So
wow, I gotta try that. I want to fall asleep while I'm driving, and 3 hours on the 405 in Los Angeles. I'm wondering if I hit myself with that.
It's terrible. No, you need a pair of these right in the car with you, because my husband keeps a ball that he squeezes. He's a traveling sales guy. He squeezes a ball to try to, when he gets tired, does different things. But these are great. They're easier, and they just do a better job. And you can bong the area that you find, but there are certain areas that you can tap that are designed to wake you up. So certain areas of the body that you can tap that will wake you up.
That would be helpful, because that would be my thought, is if this relaxes me, this isn't helping me. I mean, I have a gift of being too relaxed while I'm driving.
No, we'll find the trigger points on your body that you can tap that will wake you up.
Well, my husband will appreciate that, because I used to call him and actually start fights, because that would get enough adrenaline so that I could stay awake. Then you get home and go, did we have a real fight, or was that just wanting to keep me awake?
Well, it's dangerous, and it's a horrible feeling to be driving and have 2 hours ahead of you and feel like you just want to go to sleep, Yep. It's a very dangerous, and it's a very horrible feeling. So definitely we'll find the trigger points that alertness and wake you up, and you tap that part on your body to do that.
That would be really helpful, because I know, driving across Nebraska, I could pull off for a rest stop, but when there's a crane accident on the 405 that takes out 7 out of 8 lanes, you're stuck. You are stuck there.
Yeah, so you are stuck.
Yes, that's good. Wow, all these added benefits. I need to go make a bullet point list. That's excellent.
I will definitely do that. They also say, now I don't know, because I haven't, but I haven't been very diligent. They say it gets rid of cellulite.
Oh, whoa, okay. Now you just open up a whole nother target audience.
If you supposedly you tap regularly on cellulite, it reduces the appearance of cellulite. That has everything to do with circulation, right?
Okay.
You know, it's breaking up the fat molecules that are under the skin and circulation, all that kind of thing. But I haven't been as diligent as I should to know if it actually works.
Yeah. But I mean, just trying to think a little bit, this novice scientist end of it, it seems like it makes more sense on the circulation than like creams that
Yeah,
I don't mean to knock the cellulite creams out there, but whatever that is, that's supposed to encourage circulation. It seems like the bongers would be more likely to have an impact.
They do. You can when I've tapped on my leg and and thighs and a little bit on my butt, you can feel that the circulation has improved. You just feel the blood flow. It's automatic.
Wow. So for someone who may not for someone who has cold toes, we could maybe encourage the circulation down towards that area and not be so cold.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Bonging the bottoms of the feet is the most wonderful feeling ever. It's kind of like if you love a pedicure, this is like getting that pedicure, but just bonging the bottom of your feet. And having someone do it for you is even better because then you can just completely relax. Yeah, massage. The best thing about bongers is to have someone use them on you, but that doesn't discount the times when you have to use it on yourself for different reasons. They're there for both. So
makes sense. Now they're better than these. There's little wooden things that you can buy, and sometimes they look like little animals, and you put your hand through there and kind of roll them over yourself. They're more effective than. Have you seen those?
I think so. We have a few of those too, and that's more of the same type of effect you would get with your hands, but not using your hands. So that's rubbing. That's rubbing the skin and the muscle. It's kind of this motion over the back or over the muscle and the soft tissue, where the bongers are this motion. So percussion. Okay. You're really doing percussion. Okay. And percussion is a very ancient massage technique that's been around forever.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much, Kristie, for joining us and for telling us about the bongers and about thebackplace.com. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Deborah.
All right.